Yes, Assalamualaikum everyone. So the market is still sideways, trying to regain its consciousness one more time, and Pepe as well. Here we are, and Pepe. Some people are saying, a distribution is happening. Like, for example, you really pushed up like this, and now you're making a mini little bit of a distribution, and probably you start to go to the downside. But I don't know, man. I don't know. For that to happen, there are some few things that will have to happen first before we don't drop to the downside. One thing I want to check is the weekly time frame. So if I talk about the weekly, the candle that is developing, again, I think I told you in yesterday's video as well that this candle is not a bad candle, especially on the weekly. So if you're going to make a candle like this on the weekly, it is definitely going to be hard to say that the thing, the coin itself is going to drop to the downside. Then it actually opens up a room for debate on the daily, that maybe perhaps the daily is in the mood of accumulation zone, because I am looking at such behavior across the board. ICP did it. A lot of things are just moving sideways. Even SHIB right now is actually on a sideways pattern. Dogecoin is on a sideways pattern. They didn't really drop down. They're actually making continuation patterns just to pop and continue to the upside. So at least for now, I don't see a pattern that really pushes it down, even though, yes, it's true, you have pumped up so high that it doesn't, that there could be no doubt that you can actually even drop down because of how high you have pumped. But because this is TA and we have to use logic and reasoning, well, logic and reasoning still says that no pattern for a downside, which is good. But the RSI does actually say I have a divergence. Now this is where we cannot ignore a divergence, right? Ignoring a divergence is just going to be ignorance and not a good idea. But yes, you have a move up and divergence is moving down, so this is one negative point that we may have. But if the market remains bullish, it doesn't really matter. I've seen RSI on Bitcoin and Bitcoin threw it out. If I show you Bitcoin once upon a time, we saw such a big divergence and it didn't even bother. I mean, look at this, right? Look at this price moving up and look at this divergence right over there. But there was a little bit of a dip down before it really didn't push back up. So this divergence really they didn't give a damn about it, okay? So yeah, you might have a divergence here, but if the market is bullish, it doesn't really matter. And the next thing is probably back into the 4-hour time frame. Now, what I could say is that we perhaps are finding ourselves here a little bit of support line. So I do think that there could be a establishment of a support line, which you can see you have a touch here and you have a touch there, and you probably made another one right there. So if maybe perhaps you come down like this and you lose that line and retest and fail, that's when we could see a drop down to 3323, and that could be just be nothing else than one huge distribution pattern to go and retrace to the downside. And that's all for the Pepe update. Now I'm going to actually mention a coin that I'm giving away for free. So if you know the coin already, you can just send the video. For those who are new, I just want to say that being able to buy in accumulation is always a good idea, because when the prices are low, it's always you have a good chance of having profit when the market is down, or maybe when the coin, I may say, is down the ground. For example, Pepe was down the ground here, and this was accumulation before it didn't pump up. ICP had the same thing, and Bonk had the same thing before it went up. Dogecoin, SHIB, and now this is the next coin that I think you guys should be trying. Project wise, it's good. I've done some research on this one. Try a little bit, and I'm telling this for free. Come down to the Discord, click on Discord, and click on announcements, click on my name, message me. I'm going to tell you for free, that's all. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Love.